Welcome to episode 5 of Mina Talks. I am your host, Mina. Thanks for joining me in my library. In this episode, I'm presenting a story I wrote last November called The Creature Crawled Up My Bed. I don't want to say too much about it before I read it to you, but I do want to warn you it may bring up some deep-seated fears. Before we start the story, I have a request. I'm continuing to improve these videos. I would love to have your feedback in the comments below. While you're down there, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're notified when I upload new videos if you haven't already. Please share out the video to help others find the channel and the video as well. Now, let me whisper in your ears. The creature crawled up my bed. I have always had a problem sleeping at night. Sleeping during the day has never been a problem. I could always lay down to go to sleep during the day without issues. Nighttime, though, it was like my body wanted to stay awake all night long. However, the world doesn't work with a night schedule for children or adults. Schools are only open during the day. Most jobs that pay a living wage are only available during the day. I should be exhausted after forcing myself to stay awake all day, but no. If the sun was down before I tried to go to sleep in the evening, I would be fighting for most of the night to get to sleep. How this plays into what happened may not be obvious, but it explains why I was already asleep before the sun went down. This particular night was a good night, though. I think I was 20. Finally, I was living by myself in a small studio apartment, but it was mine. I loved it. When I went to bed that night, it was still before sundown. I was able to fall asleep quickly. At times, this would ensure, with the lack of sleep the night before, I would sleep peacefully through the night. However, it was not to be this night. Having gone to sleep so early, I woke around 3 a.m. I opened my eyes long enough to see the time on the clock before closing them again. I wasn't willing to be awake yet. Yet I just laid there trying to sleep. While I could move, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to open my eyes yet. I was drifting in and out for a while as I laid on my stomach. This was the normal fight I went through when I tried to sleep at night. Then, I felt something climb onto the bed. Well, climb might be the wrong word. It was more like suddenly there was pressure on the bed between my feet. My legs weren't that far apart. So when it started moving up to the head of the bed, it was shortly putting what felt like hands onto my calves and thighs. Slowly, this thing, or being, crawled up my legs, then over my hips to my back. It stopped when it had its hands on my lower back. The pressure made me want to look. I couldn't turn my head far enough to see it without being seen by this creature. I was actually too scared to look. I had heard stories of people being frozen from being taken or probed by aliens. Was this what was happening? Why did it stop there? Did I even want to know? My mind had images of all the typical alien beings standing over me and touching me. I feared of what they might do to me if it was aliens. Still, I couldn't bring myself to actually turn my head and look yet. Gradually, it continued up my back. Soon, it was standing or kneeling on my back, straddling my hips. Other fears started creeping in, making me afraid to move. My back felt like it had this small person, alien, or creature on it, straddling my hips. While wondering what it was, I wondered how it got into my apartment and on my bed. I'd heard of people suffering things like this while in what is called sleep paralysis. Was this what I was experiencing? I could move. I made sure by wiggling my toes and feet. So I wasn't paralyzed. However, was I being visited by one of those demons which I've heard and read about? The ones the artists love showing in their paintings. Something pressed hard against my neck. There was a feeling of fine hair or fur against my skin. I had no way of determining what this creature was. Then I felt something wet and rough against my cheek. It wasn't large. I would have thought it was the tongue of the creature if it had been larger. Perhaps this was a wet appendage? Or worse, a tentacle. Finally, I opened my eyes to see if I could see the head or appendage of this creature. Then I saw it, or part of it, just by moving my eyes. It seemed to have fur on it where I could see it. Finally, I pulled all my nerves together and turned my head to look at it. As I lifted my head, it made what could only be described as a deep purr against my ear. Turning my head completely, I came face to face with my Siamese cat, Tanny. Welcome to the end of the video. Thank you for listening to the whole story. I hope you liked the twist. I didn't want to give too much of the story away before you heard it. Let me know what you think. How would you have reacted in that situation? Have you been in a situation like it? Tell me about it in the comments below. This particular story was written as a false horror. It was meant to scare you and give you a fright, but then the fear was cleared up by the ending of the story. I hope you weren't too frightened. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to know about this story in the comments below. While you're down there, please give the video a like, and if you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. As a short reminder, I have a Teespring store and merch. I have t-shirts for adults and children and 3 mug designs to choose from. If you can give me other ideas of what you want in the comments below, also let me know if you want more of the current book graphic or if you wish to see the current Mina avatar graphic. What would you like on it? I've added a link in the description below, so check it out. Get your own Mina swag. With the Teespring link is also a donation link from Streamlabs, which will allow you to support the channel in another way. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been so welcoming, supportive, and helpful. I know I've asked a lot of input from you all. I just want to get to know you all as you get to know me. Until we meet again, have a wonderful day or night, and be safe.